Have you ever wondered what your life's deeper purpose is? Why have you faced so many trials, challenges, and even moments of despair? Let me tell you something that will change your perspective forever. Every difficult moment, every obstacle you've faced, is part of a divine plan that is far greater than you can imagine. God has a powerful message for you today, a message that can completely transform your life. Today, you will discover how this divine plan is designed to elevate you, heal you, and guide you toward the destiny that God has prepared for you. First, you must understand that nothing in your life has happened by accident. Every circumstance, even the most painful, has been orchestrated for your growth. As the Bible reminds us in Jeremiah 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This verse holds a profound truth. God's plan is not to leave you in suffering, but to guide you toward a greater purpose. Think about the challenges you've faced, whether it's loss, rejection, or moments of failure. All of these have served a purpose. God allows these challenges not to punish you, but to strengthen you, to mold you into the person you are meant to become. Much like gold is refined in fire, your soul is being refined through every trial you endure. These hardships are not meant to break you, but to awaken the strength and faith that lie dormant within you. Now, let's talk about what it means to discover God's plan for your life. It starts with faith. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to divine wisdom. When you align yourself with God's will, you begin to see life differently. Challenges no longer seem like curses, but like opportunities for growth. You realize that every detour is actually a redirection, a step closer to your destiny. God's plan may not always be clear to you in the moment, but His vision for your life is far greater than anything you could imagine for yourself. It is important to listen to God's voice. He speaks to us in different ways, through Scripture, through prayer, and even through the people He places in our lives. Are you listening to His guidance? Are you seeking His wisdom in the decisions you make? Many times, we get so caught up in our plans that we forget to consult God's will. We try to control every aspect of our lives, and in doing so, we miss out on the greater blessings He has prepared for us. Today, I encourage you to pause and surrender your life to God's plan. Trust that His ways are higher than your ways, and His thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Isaiah 55, verse 9. Remember, God's message for you is one of hope and transformation. He doesn't want you to stay stuck in fear or doubt. He wants you to embrace the future He has laid out for you with confidence and faith. But this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires patience, trust, and perseverance. You need to trust that even when things seem difficult, God is working behind the scenes to bring everything together for your good. Romans 8, verse 28 reminds us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." In moments of doubt, when you question whether you are truly walking in God's plan, remember this: God never abandons His children. Even when you feel lost, He is there, guiding you. You may not always see the full picture, but trust that every step, every struggle, and every victory is part of a much bigger story, God's story for your life. So, how do you apply this powerful message to your life today? It begins with surrender. Surrender your fears, your worries, and your need for control to God. Invite Him into every decision you make. Seek His guidance in prayer, and trust that He is leading you in the right direction. Stay open to His voice, and when He calls you to take a step of faith, don't hesitate. Remember that the greatest transformations happen when you step out in faith, even when the path ahead is unclear. You may be wondering, how can I recognize God's voice and His guidance in my daily life? God speaks to us in various ways, and learning to recognize His voice is key to aligning with His plan. First, He speaks through Scripture. The Bible is God's living word, and it provides wisdom and direction. Often, you'll find that specific verses resonate with what you're going through. When you open your heart to Scripture, you open yourself to hearing God's voice. Second, God speaks through prayer. Prayer is a two-way conversation with God. It's not just about asking for help, but also about listening. After praying, take a moment to sit in silence and let God speak to your heart. You may not hear an audible voice, but you might feel a sense of peace, guidance, or clarity in your spirit. Third, God speaks through the people around you. Sometimes, He uses others to deliver His message. Pay attention to the advice, encouragement, or even warnings from trusted friends, family members, or mentors. God often places these people in your life to guide you along the right path. Lastly, God speaks through circumstances. The events and situations in your life, whether they are open doors or closed ones, can be ways that God directs your steps. When things don't go as planned, instead of feeling defeated, seek God's will in those moments and trust that He is guiding you. God's plan for your life is not just about your individual success or happiness. It's about aligning your purpose with His divine mission. When you align your life with God's plan, you become a vessel through which His love, grace, and power can flow. You become a light in the world, shining His glory for others to see. Today, God is calling you to embrace His powerful message. He is asking you to trust in His plan, even when you don't understand it. He is reminding you that your life has a purpose beyond what you can see right now. So, will you listen? Will you trust in His divine plan to transform your life? The choice is yours, but know this: God's plan for you is filled with hope, love, and incredible possibilities.